So maybe this is a start of me doing boring stuff. And by the way, this is actually an assignment. I'll just read it out loud right now. So yeah, it doesn't have a title. Maybe I'd give it a title later. This is from our assignment on project text. Anyways, read. Read each questions carefully and answer the questions that follow. Read the text below. Right now, I'm looking at a shelf full of books. Let me do that again. Right now, I am looking at a shelf full of relics, a collection of has-beens, old-timers, antiques, fossils. Right now, I am looking at a shelf full of books. Yes, that's right. If you have some spare cash, the going rate is about $89, and are looking to enhance your reading experience, then I highly suggest you consider purchasing an e-reader. E-readers are replacing the books of old. I welcome them with open arms, and as you should. If you haven't heard of an e-reader and don't know what it is, then please permit the following explanation. An e-reader is a device that allows you to read e-books. An e-book is a book-length publication in digital form consisting of text, images, or both, and produced on and published through and readable on computers or other electronic devices. Sometimes the equivalent of a conventional printed book, e-book can also be born digital. The Oxford Dictionary of English defines the e-book as an electronic version of a printed book, but e-books can and do exist without any printed equivalent. So now you know what an e-reader is, but you still may be wondering why they put printed books to shame. E-readers are superior to printed books because they save space, are environmentally friendly, and provide helpful reading tips and tools that printed books do not. E-readers are superior to printed books because they save space. The average e-reader can store thousands of digital books, providing a veritable library at your fingertips. What is more, being the size and weight of a thin hardback, the e-reader itself is relatively petite. It is easy to hold and can fit in a pocketbook or briefcase easily. This makes handling ponderous behemoths such as War and Peace, Anna Karenina, and Les Miserables a breeze. Perhaps the only drawback to the space-saving aspect of an e-reader is that it requires you to find new things to hold or to put on your shelves. In addition, e-readers are superior to books because they are environmentally friendly. The average novel is about 300 pages long, so if a novel is printed 1,000 times, it will use 300,000 pieces of paper. That's a lot of paper. If there are about 80,000 pieces of paper in a tree, this means it takes almost 4 trees to make these 1,000 books. Now we know that the average bestseller sells about 20,000 copies per week. That means that it takes over 300 trees each month to sustain this rate. And for the super bestsellers, these figures increase dramatically. For example, the Harry Potter book series has sold over 450 million copies. That's about 2 million trees. Upon viewing these figures, it is not hard to grasp the severe impact of printed books on the environment. Since e-readers use no trees, they represent a significant amount of preservation in terms of the environment and its resources. And finally, e-readers are superior to books because they provide helpful reading tips and tools that printed books do not. The typical e-reader allows its user to customize letter size, font, and line spacing. It also allows highlighting and electronic bookmarking. Furthermore, it grants users the ability to get an overview of a book and then jump to a specific location based on that overview. While these are all nice features, perhaps the most useful and helpful of all is the ability to get dictionary definitions at the touch of a finger. On even the most basic e-reader, users can conjure instant definitions without having to hunt through a physical dictionary. It can be seen that e-readers are superior to printed books. They save space, are environmentally friendly, and provide helpful reading tips and tools that printed books do not. So what good are printed books? Well, they certainly make a nice decoration. So the reference is from Read Theory, teaching students to read and think critically. And from the link, blah blah blah, and that's all. So yeah, this was a free. This will be a very 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 boring reading. But yeah, I'm just gonna post this. Don't care a thing.